doing? New week, new opportunities, and let's see what the week is going to give us. Do you have an expectation of this week? What do you think? Is it going to be the color of my shirt, or is it going to be the opposite direction? We will see. Where are we going to end this week? Below or above price? Interesting questions. Interesting questions. We'll see what's going to happen. What's up, YouTube? Good to have you here. We're going to be online for about an hour here and observe the price action, because this morning price has pretty much gone sideways, which is very interesting in the context that we're moving. So yeah, we're definitely going to chat about this very, very local range indeed. So what's up? Horizon Tag, how you doing? Gwendy Zoo, you got to spend more time with your girlfriend, man. You're here again. Sarthak Agarwal, what's up? How you doing? Gustav, welcome. AM Adil, how you doing? Video Kingdom, welcome as well. Tadiez Hall, morning. Zach, morning. Gwendy Zoo, Disco, yeah. New range, probably by the end of the week. We need a playlist in Discord. Yeah, maybe we need like a Kunst Trading like music playlist or something that we need to assemble. This is just like the live stream intro type of song, you know what I mean? Sunil Narang, please stop wearing red. Yeah, maybe if you're having color blindness where you switch around red and green, it's a positive day. You know, I'm wearing green today. Jay, what's up? We need more green. Yeah. Maybe not coming. No. You became a member because you got gifted, I think. So earlier this month, or actually I think last week, there were a couple of gifters in chat. So there you go. Watty, what's up? I will come and live with you if I get a divorce. We have spare rooms, so oh boy. Okay, let's have a chat, shall we? Let's go into Elliott Waves to begin with, and then we go into chatting and of course Q&A, right? So we're going to start zooming out again, providing context first, and then we get to the local price action. Let me actually go to the daily here. Yeah, it would be quite interesting to hit this gap, but we do have a little daily order block here, right? We tested it as well, so we'll see. We'll get into the waves. We will get into the waves. What's up? Hey, Arbosni Sok, I sent you a DM. I replied to your message. I don't know if you've seen it. You did. I just got the message. So cool. I'll reply to you later today. Everyone coming in as well now. Mr. Brownbug, how you doing? Dassa, what's up? Vincent Rivola, welcome as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go through Elliott Waves. We're going to start on the higher time frame here, 12 hour. Don't want to stick around too long. I want to zoom into the local price action. And then we're going to observe what price is going to do while chatting and answering your questions as well. I'll be online for about an hour. So because I have today is a busy day, busy day. I actually didn't really finish my emails. I got emails, man. Holy moly. So yeah, definitely gotta go through that as well. But I also have another meeting with a business coach. So, oh boy, we have some stuff coming up today. Just moving my folders around here. So let me, yeah, we could be interesting to talk about this as well. I'm just quickly organizing. I'm not a big fan of that one still. So organizing my folders so that we can go through it like it's almost a PowerPoint presentation, right? That's how sometimes people call the videos as well, is like I talk about each scenario. It's like each scenario is like a separate slide in a PowerPoint. Okay, so let me quickly check if everything is all right here. That one should move. Yes, this one moves up once more. Yes. Yes. Yep. Where's my bear? Oh yeah, wait, that is the bear. I see what I did there. And then we have the local scenarios at the end, some CVD stuff, probabilities. We'll get to the probabilities at the end anyway. So there we go. Everything is organized. Beautiful. I like structure. I like structure, and hopefully you like structure as well, because I try to focus on it in my videos. I try to provide the scenarios as structured as I can with all the different folders, instead of like having like 5 scenarios on the screen. You know what I mean? So okay, quickly see a question here. All good, Arbusny, all good. Thanks for your message as well. I believe we're at the top of the retracement. We come back with 10-15k area. There is that opportunity. There is that possibility. We do want to see like local strong weakness still, not yet like high probability at the moment. We want to see price moving down, but it is one of the scenarios we're going to cover. Would you show us your fibs? I tried to do it on my chart without success. I recommend going to the first, because my fibs are pretty almost the same, but some are a little bit different. The first link in the description, bit.ly Elliott Wave detailed. That website, public, not affiliated, that one is amazing. I recommend checking that one out, because that's where you see all the targets and stuff as well. So that I recommend that one. Make a video for silver. Yeah, we should do a live stream soon again. Maybe some altcoins, but yeah, with the fibs, because it's basically that website, and then I only change some stuff based on my own experience, but pretty much most is same to the website. So bit.ly Elliott Wave detailed in the description. Yes, but for wave 1 I would still like one more move down. So let's go through it, guys, and then answer your question. So I will explain the fibs as well. I will explain the fibs for you as well, so you know where I pulled it from. Okay, let's start. Let's get started. We first go through the bullish scenarios, right? Then we follow up with the bearish scenarios, and by explaining the scenarios, we'll eventually get to the probabilities of the different scenarios on the different time frames, right? Especially locally, this is actually very, very interesting now, for also again an effect on the local price action now has again a big effect on the higher time frames as well. So very interesting. Anyway, let's start. Got my water ready. Medium time frame, 12-hour daily time frame here. Let me go to the 12-hour. The most bullish scenario is this one, because in this particular scenario, even if you take this low or just have a 3-wave structure here, you expect another move to the upside in a relatively short amount of time. The other bullish scenarios I'll show you in a second require this low to be taken, which then opens the door for bigger and longer corrective structures before you get a move to the upside. So it's mainly a time difference, not necessarily a price difference. And then, of course, in the bearish scenario, we go down, right? But in this scenario here, we have a double 1-2 at the beginning. And now we're looking for the green wave 4, either in a flat structure and then a wave A, B, and then a wave C, 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for a 5, right? Target area of C is between the 236 and the 05, which is taken from the low of 2 to this high over here, 41.2, 35.9K. That is your target area. The 618 is your invalidation, 33.6. The 382 is always interesting for wave 4, definitely always a level to keep an eye on, 38.3K, which is also very close to my golden support box that I have over here, sitting between 38.6 and 39K. Now the target area for a wave 5 can be pulled in a couple of different ways. The most, I suppose, the most common target for a wave 5 is the 1.236 to the 1.618. And actually, what I should do, of course, is move this to the right, because in this scenario, we are still looking for a move up. So we are not looking for the high to be in. So I should actually do this. You can keep your shift, hold shift, click on a fib, hold shift, and you can move it horizontally without it moving up or down. The 1.236 and the 1.618 are taken from the high of 3 to the end of 4. At the moment, I put it on this low just to create this area here, because we don't yet know what happens locally. So for now, I just pulled it here. But if 4 goes down, you will pull it from this high to wherever the low is going to be. That is the 1.236 to the 1.618. That's a normal fib pull. The 0.618 is also a target for a wave 5, which you take from the low to the high of 3 to the low of 4, which at the moment I also put on here because we don't yet know exactly what happens locally, right? We're not yet sure if 4 is in, if 4 continues, what's happening. So that's why I prefer to put it on the low. Creates the biggest area between 47.1 and 53.6k, but of course we like to see price moving above this level, so arguably between 49k and 53.6k. Another way to come up with the wave 5 target is the 1-to-1, which you take from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to wherever the low of 4 is going to be. Toggle on the 1-to-1, and then that is also a target. The problem is that this wave 1 is quite short, so you can't really use it. So that's why we like to use the other targets. So yeah, this gives you the bigger target area. Time-wise, we're still doing absolutely fine. Fib time taken from the high of 1 to the low of 2. Put on top of the high of 3, comparing 2 in time with 4 in time. Elliott waves do not only have a price relationship, they also have a time relationship. And you can see that I have different colors over here, right? So we are currently ranging around the 2 fib time, meaning that this structure so far is twice the time of this wave 2, which is normal. That's no problemo. Once wave 4 gets to the 5 or the 6, that is when we have to start being concerned and look for other scenarios that gain in probabilities. The 5 is at the moment on the 1st of February 2024. Now if you then zoom in with that in mind, right? So we're going to zoom into this wave 4 and we're going to look for scenarios where either we move up directly or we make a low and then move up, right? So let's observe what we get if we look for these two scenarios. Then the first one is a flat 5-wave structure to the downside. That's what we're currently working on. So this is your high of your green 3, right? And then a flat in a wave 4 is a common pattern for a wave 4. So it's always the moment you get into wave 4s, usually you think about complex structures, not really tend to be zigzags, flats, triangles, WXYs, but definitely when you think about flats, the expanding flats are very popular. 3-wave A in a zigzag, complex structure in B, very messy price action as well, and then an impulse down in a wave C. Your most common target area for wave B is over here between a 1.236 and a 1.38, which is pulled from the high to the low of wave A. Nicely respected, big wick above, that can happen, and then we're looking for an impulse to the downside. Your target area for C is between the two 1.618s. This 1.618 over here, so the upper one, right, is pulled from the high to the low of A to the high of B. The second one here is a Fibonacci from the low of A to the high of B. The area between the two 1.618s, that is your most common target area for your wave C. It is a big area, which is also the reason I like my target boxes, so I can be more specific, right? Because that's a problem with Elliott waves, and also sometimes where you trade Elliott waves. If this is the target areas and you would enter on the upper 618, well, your stop loss is going to be somewhere here, no? Like, what's going to be your risk to reward ratio? Are we still expecting from this price, like from these prices to move to like all-time highs for 1 to 4? Not really, right? At the moment, based on what Elliott wave shows on the higher time frames. So what I prefer to do, which I can recommend as well in your Elliott wave counting and your analysis, is that besides using Elliott waves, you're using other tools to find areas on the chart inside the areas of a target for an Elliott Wave target, right? That can give you a more specific entry, right? Or more confidence. You wait for price to hit certain levels, you observe the reaction at certain areas, and based on the reaction there, one can then enter. Of course, that's no financial advice, but that's something from Elliott Wave point of view I can definitely recommend, because it causes you to have a better risk to reward ratio if you know what you're doing, right? So inside this area, we first of all have the lows over here. 40, 150 is the lowest one. Potential swing failure pattern, right? We got to keep it in mind. Grab the low, move above, close, up. However, we have the golden box here, as mentioned earlier, 39K to 38.7K, and then the blue area here, which is sitting between pretty much 37.7 and 36.4. That's a big area. You can see it's 3 individual boxes, but for now I just observe it as one area. If price comes down there, then I'll specify what's in there. But at the moment, that is not yet relevant. Now, if we look at the impulse to the downside, right? Let me remove the target boxes, clean up the chart. God, I love clean charts. Then what we're looking for here is, wait, let me write the number 4, is a 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2, and we should not forget, retrace to the 382 Fibonacci taken from the high to the low of 1. That is a less common target for a wave 2. Bit more common for a wave B. It's not rare for 2, it's just less common. Then we look for R3, ranging in a sideways 4, and then we're going to be looking for a wave 5 to the downside here. Your target area for 4 comes from the high, the end of 2 in this case, to the low of 3. Now that gives the 618 at 44.4K, which is your invalidation. If you want to be a bit more safe, right, and that's what I sometimes do as well, is I put the fibs on the highest point of the wave 2 correction, which is this one here. So your fibs are moving up a little bit. Gives you a little bit more leeway, right? Play area. Now the 618, the invalidation is at 44.9K, 44.8K. So for me personally, I prefer using this 618 as an invalidation for wave 4 because it's the highest point for 2. However, because wave 2 ended here, I do keep these fibs on my chart for the target of 4 here at the moment, right? It's just something that's, I guess, more like a preference in a way. Inside this area, we do have the daily naked point of control here at 43.525. That is important resistance if price does find strength to move towards the upside, no? Now, if we look for a wave 5 to the downside, we can, of course, calculate the targets the same way as on the medium time frame, but I don't really like to calculate the exact targets for 5 because I prefer to look at the boxes that I have and then take it from there. One thing that is important is that if price will move to the downside, either maybe move up and then down in this scenario or directly, if we have an immediate move down, a straight line, it's unlikely the triple bottom is holding, even if you wick below, close above, and then move up a bit, because wave 5 needs to be a 5-wave structure. And if we would look for an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, well, even if with wave 3 we then take the triple bottom, if we take the triple bottom here, well, we still need a 4, right? So you want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wick below, close above, and then move to the upside. If you get a 1, 2, 3, it's unlikely this is holding because you still need a 4, and then you're going to look for a 5, right? So then the expectation is that we will see lower prices. So the move that we get, and that's why also quite often I like to talk about the structure and how price approaches certain levels. How price is approaching a certain level will increase or decrease the probabilities of the level holding. No, it's based on how price then gets there. So just above price, we have the blue resistance box here. We still actually didn't hit it. If we will do, we'll talk about the local price action in a second. 42.8, 42.9K, right? And then the daily naked point of control above as shown, which is this one, 43.525. Now a second scenario here is ABC is in and we move up. This one currently has lower probabilities as it stands, but we have to observe locally as well. And again, I'll get to that in a second. That's the local stuff. So here we then have an ABC, right? Long wave C, 1.618, target for C, respected, done. Then we want to see impulsive structures to the upside. So we want to see a wave 1, 2, and continuation to the upside. There are still probabilities for this as well. As long as this low isn't taken, it is not invalidated, right? So then we have a 3-wave move to the downside. Here is the invalidation for wave 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't want to see that in an impulse. Meaning, if price finds strength to move to the upside and move above the resistances, this level touched immediately increases probabilities that whatever happens after, these highs will be taken. Because it invalidates an impulse to the downside, right? Yes, you could have a range up and a range down again, but it invalidates an impulse down. It's kind of the same as we had here. Of course, price doesn't repeat, right? It can rhyme. But here we had a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the same thing happened. We were live here during this moment, and we mentioned wait for a range, right? The 0.618, the upper little white here, got touched. Wait for a range, bullish CVDs, eventually the 618 touched. Okay, probabilities immediately change towards the upside. We're looking for the high to be taken, higher probability. This is an ABC, increasing probabilities that sooner or later price takes the high. Of course, you can have a WXY, but then we still expect higher prices. So it's just a general thing that we don't know what comes after, but the probabilities immediately switch towards taking the high and higher prices to come, which makes it important for Elliott Wave setups as well, where then instead of looking for the shorts, we can again also look for potential long positions and long setups based on the probabilities more locally, no? So very, very interesting. I think one of these counts here, no. So the bullish count here, because from the low, we then, in this scenario, right, this is your C, we want to count an impulsive structure to the upside. If we want to look for a bigger move to the upside, no, we need an impulsive structure. There are 3 options. We have an impulse to the upside. Well, I get a, that can wait. I have a 1, 2, or I have, there's 3 options. An impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This one has potential, arguably that's actually currently the highest probability, but I'll explain in a second. You have the diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then boom, and you have the double or triple 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, right? The bullish scenario here is this. I came up with this, I think, last night. I actually don't know. Silvers might be able to tell, or this morning. No, I actually think yesterday I had it in mind. I think during the live stream, I had a question about how I would count this. We had the potential triangle and potential WXY. So the WXY here would be the bullish count, as well as an ABC, by the way. Flat in W, zigzag in X, zigzag in Y. It's not the like best looking, like this structure here is quite interesting as well, but this is the way that I would label this. Wave W and Y are not allowed to be, or wave W is a flat, so wave Y could have been a flat, but it's a zigzag, and that is then nice as well. The 886 hasn't been touched on my chart. Now this is interesting because on other charts the 886 has been touched. I actually checked other charts as well because it was so close on my chart here. The 886 hasn't been touched, but I think on Binance, if I'm not mistaken, let me have a quick look here. Bitcoin charts, I actually don't know which one it is. Which one is this? Bybit. I have other charts just so that sometimes I can check the highs and the lows or certain fib pools. But from the low here to the high on Binance, yeah, the 886 has been touched. So that's something I keep in mind, right? I don't have it on my chart, but the fact that the 886 is touched on Binance does increase its probabilities that the move up is corrective. But that is based on Binance, not Coinbase, and I use Coinbase for a reason because I like the highs and the lows a bit more on Coinbase. But it is something we keep in mind, right? The 886, general probabilities, lower for 2, higher for B or X, increasing probabilities of move of the 886 is C or Y, increases probabilities to later come back and then take the lows in this particular case, right? So this would be the scenario here. Wave 2 is very, very long compared to your wave 1. It's about 27 times longer. That is not common. Can it happen? Absolutely, but it is not common for a wave 2. Okay, that being said, we zoom out, because if we are looking for the ABC and we actually move up, we find strength and we move to the upside, right? So that is in relation, we're just building up. We have an ABC, right, in that scenario. The bullish one, ABC. Imagine we go up now once again and we hit this level. Then one of the scenarios we can keep in mind, it's too early to call still. I prefer looking for triangles after a wave D is in. But it is an interesting scenario that is important to, keep in mind. A, B, C, D, E, a running triangle. Running because wave B is above A. Wave B didn't go above the 1.618 taken from the high to the low of A, which is good because we don't want to see it. Most common target area for D is here. Then you want to see an E and a move towards D upside, right? All of the waves should be zigzag structures. Preferably volume is moving down as the pattern is evolving. That is not the case because of what happened over here. Holy moly with all the wicks, right? But the volume is not a rule. It is a guideline. So as it's still something we can keep an eye on. We spoke about that. Okay, cool. If price takes this low, the one bullish scenario is of course an ABC and you move up. We spoke about that one. However, the moment this low is taken, the probability switch from bullish, because then we want to see price moving up, to 50-50 between the ABC, and then we continue up in an impulse for 5, or we have longer ranges to come, or a bigger bearish scenario, but we don't yet know which one it is going to be because no one knows, right? The reason is that then we're going to be looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-wave move can be a wave C, a wave A, or a wave 1. So we definitely still have then this C and up for 5. However, the moment we get a 5-wave structure, it opens the possibilities that this move is a wave A or this move is a wave 1. And we have to be ready for this. And that's why I like to talk about this. If this is a wave A, we're then going to be looking for a retracement in B and another move down in C, which then leads to very likely a bigger corrective structure where potentially then we have the 1, 2, 3, longer 4, and then a wave 5. Wave 4 preferably ending after the 0.236382 here. 0.236 is on the 15th of Feb and the 382 on the 8th of March. Invalidation, the 0.618, 34.1k, and then we're still looking for a move towards the upside, right? Important. And of course we have the bearish scenario, which is this one where wave C is then in, and this is a 1, 2, and we look for a wave 3 for much lower prices to come. But we don't fully know what's going to happen if price takes the low. We need to wait for the retracement, because the moment that this is a 5-wave move, the retracement to the upside will decide what we get. If this is an impulsive structure, we can look for a wave 5, meaning this is the low of your 4. If this is a corrective structure, WXY, flat, zigzags, we're going to be looking for a move down in either a wave C or a wave 3. But we don't know yet what that is going to be. The only thing that I do not like about this being the high over here and ending a wave 5 is this structure to end the impulse with, because it is an expanding diagonal, which is very rare on the higher time frames. So this, and even if this is the low of your bigger 4, like this is your 3, you would put this a 4, and this is your final structure for 5, this is also an expanding diagonal. So it doesn't matter if you have the biggie one here or the smaller one. In both cases, it's an expanding structure. In both cases, the probabilities are low that an impulse ends on an expanding structure. Increases probabilities, this is a corrective structure compared to an impulsive structure, right? So the fact that here price has an expanding diagonal ending structure, or here locally, if you make this 4, lowers the probabilities of this being your 5 of a higher degree, where now we're going to either have a much bigger corrective structure before up or a bigger move down. So arguably, the moment the low is taken, this scenario, where is it? ABC is still very much valid, but we want to observe a move to the upside, right? It depends on the retracement. That's what we are going to keep our eye on. We don't have too much of a bias. We take it step by step. So, little drink. Okay, impulse to the downside, but this time with some fib times on the chart, where we then have a fib time taken from the end of 1, end of 2, put on the low of 3, comparing 2 in time with 4 in time, currently ranging around 3. That's fine, right? That's no problemo. Target over here is the same as mentioned earlier, but time wise we are doing good. Now we get to the very interesting stuff, where also there is the potential for more bullish price action if we can actually flip the box here. So, and this is what I noticed this morning. So in the morning I was keeping an eye on this range. You know, nothing happens here. Just went sideways. But even if it just goes sideways, it gives us information. That is what we're looking for. Let's see, the bear and the bull. Yeah, so let's start with the bear. That's the lower probability scenario here. This one where we have a triangle finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 hit the 0.618, invalidates wave 4. We don't like that. It's very difficult to get another type of impulse in here to the downside. And yeah, then your wave 2 is not allowed to hit the 886. So if we do move up and hit the 886, this scenario is pretty much invalidated. At the moment already has lower probabilities compared to what I mentioned this morning, the bullish scenarios, which either is a wave C or a bigger move to the upside. But that depends on the reaction. However, it also depends on the size of this range. I'll explain. So your target area of a wave C, instead of a 1, 2, 3, we now have an ABC here for then wave 4. And you're going to be looking for a move down, right? Wave C has to be a 5-wave structure. 5 in A, W, flat, X, zigzag, Y, zigzag, B, finish. 27 times longer wave B than wave A. And then we're looking for wave C. C has to be a 5-wave structure. Most common target for C is between the 1 and the 1.236, which is taken from the low of A to the high of A to the low of B. Gives you this area over here, 43.2, 43.6K, including that level again, the daily naked point of control at 43.5. Very interesting, no? The minimum target is the 618, but this one is rare, 42.6. We're currently ranging on top of it. I like to remove it because it is rare. The 1.618 is also a target, less common, right? 44.1K. The thing with this wave C is that, let me actually check if I can have the picture because I don't have the count. I made a picture of this one. Yeah, let me open this. Is this? Oh, it's not too sharp, is it? No, never mind. I'm going to do it on the chart. So in this case, we are then looking for the low of your B and then a move to the upside in wave C. However, your wave C has to be a 5-wave structure. So we then look for a wave 1, a wave 2, 3. This is a long range, right? So we're thinking about a wave 4. And then we have a wave 5 over here. However, this wave 3 is shorter than the wave 1, as you can see here. The 1-to-1 has not been hit. Now, in an impulsive structure, wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest wave. So if we count this a 1, 2, and then over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 3, sideways 4, and we look for a 5 to the upside, it now means that a wave 5 cannot be shorter or cannot be longer than wave 3. So if we take a trend-based fib from the low of 2 to the high of 3 to, well, let's put it on the potential end of 4 here, then we get a 1-to-1 here. I should make this red because that invalidates the scenario. Put on the price, there we go. 43.1k. That is your max target then for a wave 5. Reason being, 5 is not allowed to be longer than your wave 3. If I make this a little lower, it still doesn't matter. It does matter. Okay, so it kind of depends a little bit on where wave 3 ends. If you put wave 2 here, on the lowest price, it did hit. But nonetheless, it's an important level to keep an eye on. Because this, of course, very short. Let me have a look here. 5-minute chart. Then this is the low of your 2, potentially. W, X, or Y, A, B, C running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay. We might just be good here. Interesting. Depends on the low one takes. Still an interesting area to keep an eye on, but now it might not be an invalidation per se. But we keep an eye on it. Because wave 3 is so short, then we look for 4 and then a wave 5 to the upside, right? Nonetheless, we have the resistance above price, 42.8, 42.9k, and we have that level here, 43.525, right? I've been talking about it a couple of times now here. For then potentially the end of C. At the moment you move above the daily naked point of control and you go out of this area, you're not yet out of wave or of your wave C for a potential zigzag here, right? Because the 1.618 is at 44.1k, and there's still a resistance area here as well between 43.8 44.1k. So the, let's say, confirmation of more bullish price action is the 618 at 44.4k. Now I got to search, or 44.8k. I would prefer the 44.8k based on what I said earlier, right? It's a bit more safe. If price moves up and hits this level, probabilities switch, right? And we're going to be looking for price to continue ranging here, and it can be, you know, different structures. We're going to figure that one out, but we're going to look on a medium time frame for these highs to be taken sooner or later, so we can expect higher prices to come. No, and that is why locally here it is so interesting at the moment what is happening. Now regarding CVD, we do have here bullish CVD divergences. We also have a little bit of bullish CVD here, right? I'll show you on the CVD chart, which is on blue, right? This red low here, red candle low, is lower than the ones here, right? You can see on blue, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, bullish CVD divergence. Arguably on yellow as well, by the way, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. We also had some bearish one though, lower high in price, higher high on the CVD. But yellow changed from bearish to bullish. That's of course interesting as well. And now it's showing bearish again. So yellow is a pain in the ass, but we have both sides going on here. But what I would prefer locally is just price to hit the box. Which is a solid area of resistance, so that would be an area of interest to observe the reaction. I don't know if we get it or not, but yeah. So based on then the probabilities on all of the different time frames, starting on the higher, and I actually got a question recently in the YouTube comments about how do I know the probabilities, which is it's a good question though, but it's of course based on the explanation and the rules. The more rules are respected, the better a certain scenario looks, the higher the probabilities based on the rules, right? The measurements, the trend-based fibs, the volume, the pattern, the relationship, the context. It's just everything together. Takes some time, takes some practice, but then eventually you get to probabilities, right? That's what we're looking for. So as long as this low is not taken, at 40.7, the highest probability remains this one. But the local price action, as explained, is important, right? The moment this low is taken, we are going to switch to a 50-50 probability between A, B, C in wave 4 and an impulse to the upside, or a bigger wave 4, longer range, and then an A, B, C, or the most bearish 1, 2, 3. We don't know. You can't know. We need to wait we need to wait for the retracement. What we do know is this being the end of a bigger 5 with an ending diagonal is not nice. So preferably we still see a new high, but probability wise we are patient and we're going to wait on what we get. We try to look for the low, and when the low is in, we're going to look for the retracement up and we'll take it from there. No? Yes, if price moves to the upside and hits the 618, probabilities go up for this potential triangle here, where we are going to continue this range for an even longer period of time. But that it depends on the 618 touch, yes or no. And then we get to the local stuff. Based on the local price action here, in this range, where is it? Probabilities, just because of time as well, are lower for this range to be a wave 2, because a wave 2 that is 27 times longer than your wave 1 is uncommon, right? It's very, very rare. I mean, my wave 2 fibs, 5. We are now at 27. So, it's not common. Can it happen? Absolutely. But this is more wave B-ish than wave 2-ish, right? You expect a similar reaction to the upside, a wave C or a wave 3, and then based on the move to the upside, we can reassess the probabilities. But a wave 2 that is so long is pretty out of context, right? And the context and the right look is something that we like to see. And we almost hit the 886, and we did on Binance, which is not helping in this scenario, which does increase the probabilities a little for an ABC to the upside, right? Now, of course, I explained what I'm looking for over here. We have the resistance above, and we keep observing what price does in this range. But the low time frame probabilities, therefore, would then eventually be taking the lows. But we need to see some proper weakness here, no? Because we do have the bullish CVDs, and we are just ranging. Looks very wave 4-y, unless we get a bit of an explosive move. But resistance above. So locally, I prefer being very, very, very patient here at the moment. I also, and I wrote this to Silver just before I went live, what I like to see is price turning around, or pivot points, right? Turning around at solid support resistance areas. The blue box here hasn't been hit, not that it has to, but it's just very common that you see price, if it moves up or down or changes direction, I like to see it hit at one of the levels that I have, either the daily naked point of control, this resistance box here, the white box. So yeah. If price, by the way, moves down and then finds the strength to go back up, there's the potential for a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not there yet. It's just something I'm thinking about here. So I would say very, very locally in this range, probabilities higher locally to look for some higher prices. And then depending on the move up, we're then looking for a C or a 3. And we keep an eye on the 618. So just in case, right? Because that's the 618 is the invalidation for an impulse down. So only when that is hit, yes, you might not grab the low, right? But you have a lot higher probabilities. So Okay. What's up, chat? How you doing? You've been very, very patient. Okay, where were we? We were here. Yes. Of a wave. So the 1.236 and the 1.618 come from wave 4. The 0.618 is from 1, the low of 1, the start of 1, to the end of 3, to the low of 4. Buenos dias desde España, gracias. What's up, Broncos? How you doing? Welcome. Mark, always here. Got the popcorn ready. Thank you for the tip, folks. Yeah, so check out this website here, right? This is a good one to have, in my opinion. And here you have lots of Elliott Waves information, Elliott Wave information, including these pictures. Oh, not that one. I mean, that's just an example of some random charts, but yeah, with the colors, you got to read the beginning of the page, right? Don't skip reading here. Don't be too excited to jump in. Read this as well, so that you know what the colors mean as well, because that has to do with what is common and what is less common and stuff, right? Just so you know. Yes, correct. That is why quite often, if you want to calculate the high of a wave 5, you need to be very patient to see when wave 4 finishes. So once a wave 4 is kind of confirmed finished, that's when you can really look for the wave 5, because the common target area of 5 is between the 1.236 and the 1.618 of wave 4. And then, of course, you have other ways to calculate 5, but it's just about what is most common and a bit less common. Sartak Agawal, if you got gifted, which I think you were, send me an email to kunztrading@outlook.com. You got gifted bronze, but all the bronze gifters, I bumped them up to silver, because bronze doesn't really do anything. But at least with silver, you have the updates that I send during the day, and sharing my thoughts and you know, everything throughout the videos or between the content. So send me an email with your Discord, YouTube, Telegram username, and then I'll get you sorted. I think you can either thank Bogdan or Mark, because they've been added. From a low to a high of wave 4, move down, hit the 886 perfectly, looked like a B. Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. I think you mean this. This one hit the 886 indeed. But I'm not really focusing on this 886 because of the Elliott Wave scenarios higher up. We do have an 886. Usually you would say higher probabilities to move up is a C or a Y, and you know, if you get a move up. Price does like to retest the golden pocket after an 886 touch, which we haven't done. And we still have the daily naked point of control at 43525 in confluence with the golden pocket. So that's interesting, absolutely. For then a potential move up. But this low here at the moment is not regarded as causing the start of something, if you know what I mean. So with an 886, if you have an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3, or a W, X, Y, then this is the start of a move. And then we take a fib from the low to the high, and then if this move hits the 886, that is when the probabilities, Y or C, later come down. But in this case, we are labeling this as a wave A, for then a B and C, so, or WXY or the triangle. But that's why I don't really like to look at this particular 886, so that's why I don't really talk about it that much, and I prefer to look at more locally, basically. What's up, Anita? 103 watching, 9 likes. Yeah, if you like the content, you know, you know where the button is. Locally, there is too much bullish CVD building. Yeah, there is CVD building indeed. And that's why like I like to see boxes and areas hit for a reversal, and at the moment we are below. In this box here we have a daily and a daily naked point of control, and I think it was the 786 from the high to the low. Yes, 786 as well. So we are now ranging basically inside the golden pocket, but here we have the 786 as well. So that is why that area became a target box. It's a better area of resistance than the golden pocket by itself, basically. So I would like to see it hit, and then we can observe the reaction if it does soon, though. Just an ABC, that would be the 5 of an ending diagonal. But that's the thing. The ending diagonal is going to be expanding if you count them with ABCs. You can't have a contracting diagonal here. So it is true that the subdegree count is ABC, so you're absolutely correct, or WXYs, not to forget. But you're still expanding. Same here. This is still an expanding diagonal structure. Doesn't matter how you pull it. It's not a contracting diagonal. And expanding diagonals are more rare. If you do end something, preferably, you then have a contracting diagonal structure, right? Like trend lines converging, which works a lot better in Elliott waves. That is what you prefer to see compared to the expanding structures, which is more rare. So you are correct. You want to see the zigzags, you want to see the ABCs, but preferably you want to see that in a contracting scenario where the trend lines are converging. FEMX chart is a lower low, so it has to be a B or X. Yeah, if FEMX actually took the low, that's interesting. It increases probabilities. What is it, USDT or USD? Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, that it does increase probabilities to later take this low on other platforms as well. I actually have a little bit of TA on this chart. Where are the trend lines? Oh, sometimes you open a chart and you see your very, very old stuff. I have no idea. I'm not sure if I could go back that far. 12-hour chart. I have no idea. A couple of stuff is black here. I guess I was using a white background. But trend lines, everyone. That's how I started as well. And then, oh, triangle. This is probably the breakout line of the triangle. So yeah, patterns and trend lines. That is also how I started. And I have another fib here. Holy moly. Yeah. I like to leave it on because sometimes you bump into these charts and you're like, hey, I got some technical analysis here. What the hell's going on? And it's like your old self. It's like nostalgia. When I see it, it's like the old Kuni days, you know. Yeah, I love it. Extending diagonal. You mean an expanding one? Because we don't have an extending one, but we do have expanding diagonals in a wave 5. If on a bigger scale, we are in a wave C. No. C or 3 or 5 doesn't matter with the probabilities for an expanding diagonal. What does increase probabilities for a diagonal, not expanding, preferably remains contracting. But what increases the probabilities for a contracting diagonal in a wave 5 is if the wave 3 is very short in time, but really big. So if a wave 3 is incredibly impulsive, it increases the probabilities for a wave 5 ending contracting diagonal, because expanding always remains rare. Antje Walsh, Antje, welcome, and thank you as well, appreciate it. Haven't checked BTC dominance, to be honest. ETH is pumping. What do you think of it? Does it go high until... Well, we were already looking for 2600 on ETH the other time that I quickly had a look. And then we have to observe the reaction. But I'm not trading ETH, so I'm not too involved. Oh, it's not this chart. I have to go to coin coverage and then ETH. There we go. So look, ETH has been relatively easy without Elliott waves. A diagonal now is less likely, leading diagonal, but it's just also range trading, entering the range, like resistance value area low, coming in, closing in, but not holding, closing in again, holding this time, beautiful, moving to the upside, next target point of control, and now observe the reaction at the point of control. No. And if you have a lower probability of an impulse to the downside, it increases probabilities to move back up at a later stage. We did hit the 886 though. That's not ideal for an impulse to the upside in a wave 1, 2, and then a wave 3. This 886 touch, not really what you like to see, because it decreases probabilities for a wave 2 compared to a wave B or X. So, you know, arguably it just continues the range a bit longer. Do you also use MA and EMA? No, I don't use any of the MA or EMA lines myself. They can be implemented. You can trade very successfully with the MA, EMA lines, but it's not my style. I have a very specific set of things that I like to use, and most of these are volume related. Would be interesting if the market maker sent it down without giving everyone a short option. Yeah, I mean, low time frame, just the general range at the moment, would give higher probabilities to still look for lower prices. But here, I would like to see the box hit, but that's why when things are not too clear, we of course prefer to zoom out, not zoom in. But more like bearish CVD here as well. So yeah, we have the bullish CVD, but we also have the bearish CVD. So locally it's quite a pain. But yeah, the longer this range becomes, the less likely it also then is a wave 4. We don't want it to just be too long. And then the higher the probabilities you fall. But yeah, general probabilities in the range here, based on, again, the length of this structure, is that this low is then a B for a C up, you know, whatever the structure is, which increases probabilities to take the lows. Because if this is a 1 and then a 2 and we look for a 3, it's a very, very long wave 2. And you know, it's all probabilities. Nothing is 100%, right? We don't know what's going to happen, but we can at least check up on the probabilities from an Elliott wave perspective, and take it from there. No liquidity on, yeah. We did a 1. Okay, so this is your 1 and then your 2. Yeah, but then you need to count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? So you're going to be looking for a double 1, 2. Yeah, that's what I mentioned at the end of the analysis, where if price falls towards the golden pocket, 0.5 golden pocket area, right? Common target here for your wave 2, and then pushes up, probabilities indeed are higher for continuation because it becomes a potential double 1, 2 or a zigzag. But we have to reassess. First, price needs to get down there. It's not as, yeah. So you need to see a move down, of course. Yeah. The C of an ABC, A, B, all like this. Wait, I get what you mean. I get sorry. I literally read chat line by line, and then so I read this line. I'm not reading the other lines yet, and then I come back. I talk ta 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 ta. I come back, and then I see, and it would be the C, and I'm like, oh wait, that's what he meant. So yeah, I get what you mean. You're doing A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason that I labeled this as an A, B, and then looking for a more sharp C in a zigzag is because wave A is again so short. Now wave C does tend to take longer than a wave A, so you know that's something. So yeah, arguably there's the potential for a bigger C, but it would be a very big one again compared to your wave A, which is so incredibly short. 15 min. Which one is lower? That one. Well, it's already extension. It is already 6 times longer than A, more than 6 times longer. So it's not a beauty, at least. It won't go in the beauty book for a zigzag, if that happens. Hey, how you doing, Crypto Aman? What's up, True Earthman? Also, welcome to Discord, by the way. Good to see you there. Albert, what's up? How you doing as well? Good afternoon. Mark, is it possible that there is a BTC WXY is an A or W? It has to be an A in that case, followed by an expanding flat up. What time frame do you talk? Wait, what time frame are you talking about, Mark? So we have WXYA followed by an expanded flat up. Followed by an expanding flat up and another expanded flat down. Is that the 4-hour time frame you're talking about? Oh, lol. Okay. I should read more of chat. Okay, there we go. Let me put your comment next to my screen here, so that I can read it while at it. So a WXY has to be an A. You can't have a WXY inside W or inside Y, which is a good one to know. So it also forces you to then look for other counts. So probably you're going to be looking for this. This is your A. This is your B, and then a bigger C. And that is absolutely a potential scenario. It's just that, you know, because the result is pretty much the same. Your target area for C is pretty much the same. The main difference is your scenario on the medium time frame changes. Your 3 and your 5 move to the left. They move here. And then you have a longer 4, right? That is the difference. However, when we look at this latest structure to the upside, what I would prefer is, like, you have a little 1, 2 here, little 1, 2 again, 3, 4, 5. I would like another 4, 5. So that's why it's a big 5. So yeah, maybe a bit expanding, not ideal. So this definitely has possibility. It doesn't change the target area because it's quite similar. Because now you pull your target for C from here to here with the fib, and with the trend-based fib from here to here to here, which gives a relatively similar target. But yes, that is absolutely a opportunity, but then you need a wave C to the downside as well. It has to be a wave C in that case, yes. Best channel. B channel with the 199. What's up, man? Thanks. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Holy moly, how do I do that then? Or is this just a regular comment? Wait, I know how to do that. Wait, give me a second. Have you guys seen? we can celebrate it with the emotes here. Yo, Blizzard channel, thanks, man. I really appreciate your what is it? A super. So it's what is a super? Is that like a donation thing? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. How do I gotta research this. Yeah, pleasure, B channel. Pleasure, man. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it. The first super. Well, there you go. Have you? Yes, I have heard about harmonics. What's up? Maybe a Band-Aid. How are you doing as well? How are you doing? Does it have any relation with Elliott waves? Yes. I mean, you can use harmonics very effectively with Elliott waves. There's actually one guy in Discord that does that. He posts a lot of harmonics. So as far as I know, it uses the fibs as well, but in some other way. I'm trying. Yeah, so I know about harmonics, but I didn't study it. I just know, like, I have a bit of basic info. But because I have a certain skill level in Elliott waves, I've never really got into harmonics because it's different but the same, if you know what I mean. Harmonics also are based on wave structures, pretty much like time and price with the fibs. Even though the fib targets and some of these might be a little bit different because it's not Elliott waves, it's harmonics, you can get to the same result. So yeah, definitely heard of it, but I don't use it myself. But there is people in Discord using it. Yeah, in Discord, But I now know what you mean, right? I spoke about your A, B, C, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave C. That is what you were looking for. So yeah, we covered it. What's up, Dutch Trader? How you doing? Yeah, in YouTube, no links are allowed. That's mainly to protect you guys from scammers. If this industry wasn't as scam heavy as it is, we could have actually opened the links up in YouTube chat. But hey, the shitty thing is, it's incredibly scammy, this industry, right? So also in Discord today, I made sure to send a warning, like, I will never write you a DM or add you as a friend or randomly call you if not notified in the group by myself before. Like, but it doesn't, I never add anyone. So that's the main thing. Usually scammers add someone, but no, like, important to make sure you know about all this. What's it? Yo, KG? Ooh, that's been a while. Wait, Siu. I don't know what Ron is, but thanks, man. That's the second. That's then a second super. Welcome, man. You did call me today. I didn't call anyone, so you're not talking to me then, huh? So it must be watch out for the scams, guys. I haven't called anyone in the morning. Don't get baited. I do message people that also message me, that send me a DM, and then I'll reply. But if I send a DM to someone earlier, I always notify. But KG, good to see you, man. And Siu, thanks for the second one ever. The first one by B Channel and the second one, Siu. Appreciate it, eh? No idea what Ron is, but appreciate it. Should be a local currency. Sup, man, how you doing? What are your thoughts on a 5-wave move down from the recent high with a triangle for a 4 and a truncated fifth? Might be a bit forced. Yeah, I see what you have. Today, by the way, in the Netherlands, it's a crazy day. We had snow, we had hail, we had rain, we had snow and sunshine, hail and sunshine, rain and sunshine, and now again it's like snowy and sunshine. I cannot explain the Netherlands. It's 5 seasons in a day. We don't even have 5 seasons, of course, but so, and then it's been a crazy day because now the sun is shining. Even on the live stream, you've seen sometimes it's lighter behind me, sometimes it's darker. You can't see the rain and stuff. Okay, so this is what that KG mentions, right? And then a truncated fifth. So wave 2, 382 retracement, right? Then we have our wave 4 triangle, common in a wave 4 as well, right? Or at least a triangle is actually not too common, but it happens in a wave 4, and then a wave 5 down. Of course, generally, by the way, should also say KG is an amazing Elliott wave counter and especially active in Discord in the other channel. But a truncated 5 is very rare, of course, so therefore never prefer. Same with like expanding structures, truncated structures, truncated 5, truncated C, and an ABC. Those are very rare structures, and therefore they never get the highest probability. So then we prefer to look for other structures first, before considering a truncation or an expansion. Now in this wave 5, another thingy that I struggle with is counting this as a nice impulse. So if this is your end of E, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 hit the 0.618, which is shown here. Up, 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 up. So we then have 1, 2, 3, or this is your 3. It doesn't matter really. No, 3, 4. In both cases, price retraced to the 618, which is a bit of a pain, of course, for a wave 4. But at the same time, it's also not a diagonal. So it's difficult for me to label it as a nice wave 5 besides it being truncated as well. So it lowers the probabilities for me in that case. So that's why I'm not really looking for a truncation there at the moment. Yeah. So that's also why I prefer to look at like an ABC with C being in and then a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC to the upside. That's bearish and we go down, right? Either an impulse down or a wave C is finished. Those are the two I look for. Can Elliott waves be successful on the 5 minute? Yes, I mean John in the group trades Elliott waves on a 1, 3, 5 minute time frame. Yeah, you can. It requires a lot of skill because price action changes so quick. So you need to be very quickly thinking about the scenarios. Of course, one candle is 5 minutes, but you know what I mean? It's still very quick. Usually the higher time frame you go, the more accurate things become. I like to stick around on the 15 though. Your Y looks more like a triangle. Ah, I see. But then you're also talking about a truncation in that case though. So then you have your Y here. This is your low, right? And then if this is the end of your Y, then you have your A, B, and then a wave C. But then your wave C still needs to be a 5-wave structure, which at the moment would be a truncation like KG says, but a truncation is never a preferred scenario. So if we do move up, I prefer calling this ABC, right? Where then we either have an ABC down for 4 or 1, 2, 3, and we look up, but then a potential bigger triangle structure, something we have to figure out as time passes. Yo, what's up, Jim? Back again. A couple months ago, Andy suggested your channel about Elliott waves after watching your TA for 5 minutes. I've subscribed and liked your every video. Thanks. Thanks for the support, man. Liking every video. That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of videos since I mean, it's usually 3 a day, if not 4, sometimes even 5 pieces of content if I go live twice, which doesn't happen often, but it does sometimes. Thanks to Andy as well. Yeah, Andy is a great guy. I really appreciate him also talking about the channel, and Mark, of course, as well, part of Andy's community. So, yeah, really, really cool. Thanks for being here as well, and welcome being a sub. How it feels to be a successful trader? It feels like, I should say this honestly, now it feels quote unquote easy. But that is not the story to get there, which is incredibly difficult. So how does it feel? Well, if you have a plan and a strategy, which I have, which Diamond is trading as well, that's when things become easier because you have a plan, you have a lot of data. But in order to get there, you're going to have a tough time because you have to develop a strategy. You got to learn and especially control your trading psychology, which is always a difficult thing, right? You got to train yourself. So to get there is difficult. But once you have a plan and you sort out your trading psychology, things become easier. And then it's not difficult because like you stick to your rules and you just check the boxes. And the moment a setup appears, you just take it. And sometimes there are setups where you might be a bit doubtful, like, hey, does it fit with the rule or not? And, you know, sometimes you then enter with a lower position size, or you just skip it and you track statistics. Sometimes you just take it with your full risk, whatever that is. For me, it's 1%, because I know that based on the win rate and the risk to reward ratio, that, you know, I can have sometimes a doubtful trade still be profitable, you know, so easy. I can make many mistakes. But it's because I have so much data and a plan. And now that Diamond, people in Diamond also trade it and collect statistics, it's not just me anymore. It's like so many different people, different brains, different backgrounds, living in different time zones that collect different data and the same data. And we are now all improving the strategy. So it's not just me anymore, which is cool, right? It's like, it's almost like we have this goal of perfecting it even more. It's already average win rate 60-70%, 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, 10 to 20 setups a month on only Bitcoin. Jarvis trades many different coins. Trendgut trades different coins. You know, Super Psycho traded only Bitcoin end of last year, I think. Not sure, he may have done others as well. But yeah, in the group there's many people doing also altcoins, and it also works there. I only tend to train Bitcoin, but you know. So it's making the plan and the strategy. That's where the hard work is. That is where you don't yet see results. MJ DeMarco, an author of the book The Millionaire Fastlane, Unscripted and Unscripted The Great Rat Race, he calls it the desert of desertion. That is the period where most people give up. Either people think they can get rich quick and then they fail and they leave. But then you have the people that they do stick around, but it's too much work. And then they quit as well. And it's a lot of work. So there's 6 steps, right? There we go again. There's 6 steps to be a profitable trader, in my opinion, which is literally what I went through. So that's why for me it's 6 steps. 1, try as many free tools as you can. 2, find your favorites, collect data. 3, combine your favorite tools based on data and collect more data on the combination of the tools. 4, tweak and adjust the combination of your tools. Add something, remove something, collect more data. 5, start trading your combination, right? Your strategy, because now it's actually a strategy with some rules. Because of your data, you can make rules. 5 is then start trading it with low budget and work on your trading psychology. And then 6 is start upping your budget. And you have to do that step by step slowly, because you have to get used to the losses, not the win. Getting used to winning is easy. Getting used to losing more, that is where your trading psychology fucks up. If you go from $100 or 1K too quickly to 10K or 50K, you're going to put all your savings in because you got your plan, but then you make a 1% loss and you lose $500, you know, $100, whatever is a lot to you, 10K. And that is, you know, so step by step. And that is when you know, and you do forward testing, still collecting data. But now in the group, we have so many people, it's fun. Mark Dutch, yeah. Kun is my, that's my alias, no, with the C. Ron is a ticker, yeah, I think it's, or a currency, I'm not sure. First time, right? I don't know. Almost freezing Florida this morning, so wrapped up like I'm doing a North Pole expedition. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, now it stopped. It stopped raining. It's just cloudy. Romanian LAE. Okay, there we go. I see, yeah. Ohio as well. Warm winter. I hate the cold. Yeah. I mean, the winter so far has been okay, yeah. I don't mind cold or freezing temperatures if the sun shines. I remember 2 years ago or something that we had that winter where we could walk on the canals of Amsterdam. And I took my fiance, who is from South Africa. I took her to Amsterdam. Well, I completely forgot, by the way, to put a note in that says Elliott Wave analysis was at the beginning. So everyone that's here, it's at the beginning of the live stream. But I took my fiance to Amsterdam to walk on the ice. She has never done it. right? She saw snow before, but has never like walked on ice. So that was quite an experience. Of course, many people walking on the ice, but you can imagine if you have a big lake and there's hundreds of people walking on it, skating. There's even a guy that was selling pancakes on the ice. It's still in your head, you're like, holy moly, right? Like, is it going to crack? So it was a funny experience. Once she started walking, that's when things were okay. But at the beginning, she just followed me literally in my footsteps because I showed it's okay. And then she slowly got on. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, that was fun time. Currently, last time I've seen a perfect impulse setup with good retracements. Yeah. Yeah, and also the move up from 24K is very extended as an impulse as well. But I generally, a truncated fifth would be my last resort pretty much. So if the rest fails, then I would look for the truncation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this the last of these? Hopefully not. I'll continue to make videos. Do you look at RSI? No. I prefer to look at CVD divergences myself. Yeah. Andy. Mark Dutch is everywhere, I know, right? He's everywhere, man. Mark is like moderating the whole of crypto YouTube. Hey, I join button for YouTube members. It does not shop up. Maybe because of my country, Georgia. Is there another way to join? Two things. One, sometimes it doesn't appear on a computer, but it does on an iPad and a phone. And sometimes it doesn't appear on your phone, but it does on your PC. So check another device and see if it works. And if not, send me a message on Discord. Just you can send me a DM or write me an email to koenstrading@outlook.com. Card Crypto, how you doing? Welcome, man. What's up? Hida, welcome as well. Yeah, I do have to go. I got a crazy plan. Still have stuff to do. So you're coming in at the end, really. But welcome, guys. G-Boy Nakor, Bitcoin upside up. 2000 moon. Oh, we'll see what happens, no? I was only used to walking on eggshells. Was only used. Well, there you go. That's that then. Yeah, the word was. That's what shows. Oh boy, what's the probability of Bitcoin grinding lower to 8K from here? There is the opportunity for, of course, the bigger bearish scenario. It's definitely there. Not that one. Where is it? Here. However, the minimum thing is taking this low because we want to see an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So take this low without hitting the 618 and following the wave 4 rules. Where actually, of course, we want to see this low, but likely you're going to take the next one. So let's say this local low here, because you want an impulse down. And if you get an impulse down, it can be a potential wave A, C, or 1. And of course, the potential 1 could lead to a much deeper price action. If it's an A or a C, you're just going to continue ranging up. And if it's if it's an A, you get an A, B, C, range up. And if it's a wave C, you go up quicker. So it's the moment the low here gets taken and we kind of get like a 5-wave impulsive move. It depends on the retracement what we get. Is the retracement impulsive? We move up. Is it corrective? Then we go down again. And then based on the move down, we'll figure it out. You want to say thanks for Gate that you are doing this and sharing it with one. Greetings from Germany, neighbor country. What's up, Ben? Thanks for the 5, man. I get another message now. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. This is the 3rd. YouTube is confused. In this live stream, it's been 3 times the first one now. But guys, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Ben. Greetings from, cold greetings from the Netherlands. Definitely not warm greetings here. It's fresh. It started still dripping a bit now outside, but thanks, Ben, man. Really appreciate it. I love live streaming in general. it's nice to interact. When I make a video, it's very passive. You know what I mean? When I make a video, it's like a one-way. I do reply to all the comments, but in a live stream, I can actually engage and chat. And I you know, it's based on my gaming history, I suppose I prefer live streaming in a way. So, thanks, Ben, man. One more hit to a low before a retrace, likely. With this low, then this one here, yeah, that's definitely something that's on the cards. I trade NQ 1 minute. When I look at daily or weekly chart in Bitcoin, form for me it's scalp short all the way down to 50k. Hence, I'm asking. There is that possibility, yeah. I think on the S&P 500, we're at risky levels as well at the moment. I don't know exactly what the status is, but yeah, there is the potential to move all the way down. But locally on Bitcoin, we don't yet have that confirmation. So does your fiance speak Afrikaans? No. I have few words, but not really. Do you understand Afrikaans? Yes. If they talk slow, I can. Yes. Kudze, by the way, are you from South Africa? Because my fiance has a South African friend with the surname Kudze. You get, yeah, but that's generally on YouTube the thing. Also with just members in general, and so it's always 70-30. Yeah, correct. First super chat from them. Oh, I see. Okay, their first super on a live stream. I get it. Holy moly, I'm such a noob on YouTube. There you go. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Ben, Siu, and B Channel. Wow. That's amazing, guys. Thanks. No volume, no trade. It's good to be patient when you don't really know what's happening. It's all good. What's up, Jared? Also, what's up, Jared? And also, good night, Jared, or goodbye. Because, guys, I have to go. I always say I'm going to be online for an hour. It's now 1.5 hours. I really enjoy streaming, so I'm always around longer. But the analysis is at the beginning, but I really have to go. I still have lots of other stuff to do today. And I have a meeting in Amsterdam as well with my business coach. Hopefully I'll be back in time to make the YouTube video for 8 p.m., which I think I will be. Yeah. And then I have some other business related stuff to do today as well. It was a busy morning. It's going to be a busy afternoon. And of course, a busy evening as well. But that's also more chill with the fiance. So yeah, you should visit Amsterdam, Daily Crypto, man. It's a fun city. It's nice, but visit in summer, unless you choose the right weekend in winter when the canals are like full of ice, so you can walk on the ice. But that's very rare. So at Vergara sounds like a good plan. So everyone, have a great day. Have a great afternoon, morning, evening, or night, wherever you live in the world. At 7 p.m. or between 7 and 8 p.m. You know how it goes. There's going to be a new setup video, so let's see what price is going to give us in the remainder of this afternoon for me, Central European time. And yeah, I'm going to catch you at the next live stream. Whenever that is, that might be tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. So have a good one, and I'm going to check you very soon again.